I also got at the time they had relationship with, what's that? It's not Scotia Bank. Well, I mean, I think about Scotia. Bank of America. So I also got a card at bank, well, not a credit card. I got my regular account set up with Bank of America there. And then what else? If you wanted to do any shopping in Florida, then you could do that. At the time, the apartment that they had us, we weren't paying for rent or anything because we would be going to do the little modules. If you have ACLS that you needed to do, PALS, whatever it is that you needed to do in order to get into, your department. So for example, you're working in emergency room, then, definitely you need your ACLS, you need PALS, and you also need TNCC. So they will ensure that you get those certifications before you get into the States. So when you get out there, you feel so much, like relaxed because everything would have already been taken care of. And then they did have us, like, depending on which hospital you're going to, they would have had us gone into the facility to kind of do a meet and greet with the manager before you even start working. So it was something that was really, really good. At the airport, them said that you're gonna have your name on like a iPad, somebody there waiting for you. So they tell you everything that you're supposed to be expecting. So when you get off of the airplane and you go into the little waiting area, so them say, Miss Stacian, and your last name. Yes, you're there, and you see the name, the company's name. So I'm like, okay, then not so bad, not so bad. So everything that they spoke about in the itinerary, everything was just as is. Day 1, day 2, day 3. Me never have no problem with it. Not one problem. So if you find someone that you're working with, a company that you're working with, just make sure that they're there for you. Make sure that them answering the phone whenever you call. Make sure you have somebody that is your point of contact in the state. That is very, very important. Hi, shift 8, yawns to shift 8. Hi, how are you doing? Just make sure you have somebody that is your point of contact in that state because it's going to be very, very important. Because when you need somebody to talk to, when you need somebody to go to, help you go Walmart, show you how to drive on the right side of the road. Yes, it's very important because when I got here, I was confused regarding the road. So I had to stay in the driveway until I see a car pass. So I leave out very early. Yeah, leave out very early. Then I waited until I see a car passing and then I followed the car. You understand? To make sure. And it's the same thing when I was leaving work. Just make sure the road is busy. There's a car and we can say, okay. And because when it comes down to those intersections, it's not like driving in Jamaica. All right? So those are things that you just have to kind of make some little changes and, figure your way out when you get here. But the process was not bad. I did enjoy the company that I used, and that's just it. Football lover, how are you doing? To each his own, football lover. To each his own. So I can't really, I know my opinion, I don't really have nothing to say on that one. Exactly, shift 8. Jesus says no. All right. So, however, I don't know how you got into this world, but you got in this world through 2 different sects. So, I'm going to see why you're going to do anything else. So, but the Bible speak against it. But it's up to you. Everybody have a decision to make. You understand? Everybody have a decision to make. All right. Megatron is asking what's my favorite meal. My favorite meal is ackee and saltfish with boiled dumpling. I love banana and yam. That's my favorite meal. I love rice and peas and chicken, but yeah, give me ackee any day. Ackee and saltfish any day, and I mean that. During college, I had ackee and saltfish like almost every single day with yam. Yes, I never really have any money, especially when I was in Kingston. I never really have any money to be like, spending and buying these kind of fancy food. No, I just decided that I can go downtown and buy some ackee. Ackee come in pods of what, 3? At the time you could have buy ackee and you probably spend about $50, $100. You get a ton of ackee. And then yam was like, say, $10 a pound. I don't know how much for a pound of yam right now, but at that time, it was the easiest thing. I love saltfish. I love my ackee. I boil it, carry it, go school, and that was it. All right. One teach one over, yes or no? Football lover? Huh? What's up with you? All right. So let me put one on timeout for a little bit. All right. So you can continue watching the live. Yeah. All right. So I am doing fine, Ava. How are you doing? And where are you joining in from? Remember to go ahead and tap up the live. Give the video a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Thank you. Give the video a thumbs up. And if you're new here, my name is Stacy. I'm originally from Jamaica. Work here in the state as a nurse practitioner. And I do my live streams where we chit chat and just have conversations about nursing. So go ahead and subscribe to my page. You can also follow me on TikTok, Instagram, the other social media platform, Facebook, and which other one me miss out? Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Yes, I have a page over there. So you can always go ahead and follow me on those pages. I do share a lot of information regarding nursing, transitioning, being a registered nurse practitioner, and just general information that you can benefit from. It's your girl. Welcome, Marvin. I don't know if you're here. Oh, thank you so much, Ava. Thank you. Brenton, how are you doing? And where are you guys joining in from? Yes, you know that. So thank you. It's expression braids though, Ava. It is expression braids. So Ava saying that she like me here. But I tell her say expression braids, but I just kind of twist it in so it really looks more natural like mine. I'm doing good, Marvin. How are you doing? All right, who is that? Great, greats. No. I look like 600 pounds. Anyways. Thomas, welcome. What's the difference between lentil and chickpea? Lentil and chickpea. Both of them are like plant-based, but I don't really know. One of them just looks smaller than the other. Thank you so much, Nick. Thank you for subscribing. All right, fight for justice. All right, me can't manage. Just like sometimes I tell you, say, when I come on to YT, sometimes I don't understand. Some of the folks that are passing through, it's always a challenge to keep up with you guys. Thank you so much, Ava. Thank you. It's always a struggle when some persons pass through on your live. It's like them just come and just say anything them feel like to say. Okay, nice. Have you started like physiotherapy or anything as yet, Marvin? Okay. Oh, thank you for the rose. Yadishan, how are you doing? Oh, thank you. Who is that? I actually like it, the glasses, but sometimes it just kind of feel heavy in a sense. I get accustomed to it now, but at the time when I just got it, it felt a little bit heavy, but as I continue wearing it, it feels okay. Ava, how old are you? How old do I look? Huh? How old do I look? I've been working as a nurse for what? 14, almost 15 years now. I feel like 21, so I'm gonna say I'm 21 years old. Like, I don't know how many persons see this thing where persons are celebrating their birthday, and so for example, they are 35 years old. They're not saying that they're 35 anymore. They might run from 35 and I go down to like 17, 18, 21, 23. So 23, let's say, no. I'm over 35. I'm over 35, if that makes you a little bit better. I celebrated my birthday the other day. Never really did anything like, big. I've never done anything big for my birthday. It was always just kind of low key, easy going. That's just me. So I celebrated my birthday, just went out for dinner, and that was it. Your mom is the same age? Okay, okay, okay. So yeah. But thank you for the 23 though. Marvin, no, I'm doing my therapy by using a softball. Okay. Yeah, it's better than not doing any at all. That is the challenge though with a lot of the patients that I have, where they would start physiotherapy and there is this 90-day pause on their physiotherapy session. And so it's like they're always starting over from scratch. So I have to tell them that, when you have that pause, just make sure you're doing some exercise, whatever it is that you can remember from past physiotherapy sessions, go ahead and just do it. Because when, the certification is approved, it's completed, a lot of times the patient them feel like them starting from scratch because that pause. And then if they don't have anybody there to be motivating them, encouraging them, then it's like it's not working out for them. So doing the softball is good. You little exercise. Just go onto YouTube and find some, some sessions and just do whatever you can tolerate. Okay, welcome. I am from Jamaica. Oh, you want some nails? Yeah. So whatever you can do, you just do that, and then from there, hopefully you'll be able to get into one of those physiotherapy, department. But that was one of the challenge though in Jamaica. I don't think we have a lot of physiotherapy, like private physiotherapists that you can go to. A lot of times they're either connected to the public facility. I don't know how UE does theirs. Jerica Mont, how are you doing? Lance? I'm from Jamaica, not near the beach. I'm from Manchester, so they're cool and nice. Them have a little river up that side, but yeah. It's cool and nice. It's like Manchester is like, on the higher side in terms of hills. Yeah. So we don't really have a lot of beaches up that side. And we don't have any beach up there. As I said, you might find one and two river. Like I know there's a river down in where the river there? You have some river some places in Manchester. Not 100% familiar, but I know Porus have them little river that persons will tend to go and hang out. What is my favorite movie to watch? Lord. What's my favorite movie? I love Coming to America. I love Coming to America. And I love Eddie Murphy movies. I love Eddie Murphy movies. I don't really have a favorite. But I like comics. Anything with comedy. I love a little bit of animation. So like, Avatar and all of those things. I will watch them. Hulk. Yes. I love a little animation as well. So. No, I haven't seen MJ movie. I haven't seen that. Trading Places is a good. Yes, with Eddie Murphy. Yes, that was a good one. Lance. Yeah. Trading Places. Teach you about life. There's so many life lessons from that one. Thanks much. Them expensive, the private one. I figure more or less the private ones are gonna be a little bit costly for physiotherapy. Who is my favorite actor? As I say, I love Eddie Murphy. I love who else? I love Eddie Murphy and do I have a favorite them calls here? And I love Jason Statham. I say him name Statham. Yeah, I love Jason. Who else? I don't really know. Snatch. Golden Child is a good one. Lando, how are you doing? And I'm not really, I love to watch movie. I don't really know a lot of the stars, you know, like them name and all. Yeah. A Thousand Words. When I remember that movie. Mick Swagger. I don't know that one. Snatches with Jason. Okay, okay. Hi Wyatt, how are you doing? Oh, and I'm on both platforms. I'm on TikTok and on YT, just in case you see me looking over that side. Treshawn, welcome, welcome, welcome. Feel free to go ahead and leave your comments and I'll answer them. All right, Verone. I recommend you watch it. Eddie Murphy. Okay, okay. I'll look that one up. I'll probably even watch it and I remember how it go. Oh, this is a 2012 movie. I not even watch this year. Hold on there. Okay, let me look at it. I'll look at it later on and see. Oh, it's an iPhone. It's an iPhone. The Phantom of the Opera. I think I've watched that one. Wyatt, welcome. Yeah, it's an iPhone. iPhone. The Apple. All right. I don't want to know which iPhone. What if I say iPhone 6? Huh? What if I say iPhone 6? So it's a 6. Which one this year? I think it's a 16 Pro. A 16 Pro Max. I remind you of Cynthia. Okay, okay. Kai, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Where are you guys joining in from? Where are you guys joining in from? Where are you guys joining in from? Angela, how are you doing? Oh, you're in Wales. Okay. Oh no, Wyatt. No, sir. Me no put myself in that category there. I am not. I am not. Teresa, how are you doing? Wyatt is in Ohio. Okay. What's the temperature now in Ohio? Is it like super hot down that side? How are you doing, Theresa? It's humid down there. Okay. I don't like humid when the temperature is like that. Just feels Super Calzana wants a shout out. How are you doing? Big up to yourself. Yeah, down here is hot. I want to say it's like, I guess it's okay. It's not like, no, I don't think it's humid. Or if it is, it's not that bad. But then again, I don't really spend a lot of time outside. I go and see my patient, run back in my car, and then continue my merry way. But it feels okay. Was a little bit not so windy yesterday, but it was overcast and cool yesterday and today. I am doing good. Do you use eyes for the glasses? Do you use the eyes for the glasses? I use the glasses for my eyes. Okay, so I put my prescription in it. But some places they're not a fan of the meta glasses just because they just feel as though persons are recording. And I kind of understand. So what I do is I put on my other glasses when I'm going in to see my patient, or sometimes I just take it off. Just because of that. I don't want anybody to be uncomfortable when I am seeing them. So I try not to wear it when I'm seeing patients. Okay, no problem, Wyatt. Thank you so much for tuning in and subscribing. Yeah, I know a lot of persons, they will be walking around and doing certain things, and or you're sitting in with your boss, your manager, and some persons will go ahead and just start recording and you don't know. So I kind of feel like, yeah, it's a little bit of an invasion. It's a little bit of an invasion because sometimes persons, I feel like they're setting you up. They must set you up. I don't know if you've seen where persons have been doing not interviews, but they're talking with their boss, recording contents, or they're recording them and they don't know. And I feel that's done everything you need to record. There's a time and place for everything. But I understand that sometimes you need evidence. But I feel as though it's nicer when you have your phone and you say, okay, then I am going to be doing this. You record. They can see it. You understand? But with this, it just kind of, yeah, too sneaky. It's too sneaky. When is your next live? So I don't really have a set live schedule right now. But I try to just pop on in the evenings if I am able to. So just look out for the notification. Just make sure that you subscribe to the page and get the notification when I am on. Get the black one. No, I'm not think I get any more. I'm not getting any more. Because as I say, I have to switch between my other glasses and this one. I did love the idea of it. I love when I am traveling. We can always just record, or we can just talk to it, listen to my music, and I don't have to put in my earpods or anything because it's connected, listening to my messages. So it's nice when I am in my own little world, but not when I am with patients. So I don't think I'm going to be getting another one for my prescriptive lens. I'm just gonna get my regular nice frame, and then from there. But I have insurance on this one, so I'm going to go ahead and get my insurance, claim it, and then I will have that one and just wear it as a regular glasses. Yeah, because usually they will give you the lens that they pick out of it. When them switch it out, sometimes they will give you. So what I'll do is I'll just put in back the lens in this one, the original lens, and just wear it as a sunglasses and do whatever. So yeah, but I don't think I would get another one for like everyday wear. Thank you, G Boss. Thank you. God bless you too, Gorilla. Oh Lord. Why that name though, Gorilla? Eh? Why that name? Let me see your profile picture. Oh Lord. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You understand? You're supposed to love your neighbors, you know. You're supposed to love everybody out there. Even when they come on your page and giving you a problem, you're supposed to still love them. So that's fine. That's fine. Angelo. Oh no, I am done with work. I'm done with work. I am just chilling. I'm at home. Oh, it's a nickname. So okay, cool. So nickname from when I was younger speaks to my strength. Okay, nice, nice. Uh so let me just let it be clear here, you know, G boss. And every message me respond to, you know. I'm if you tell you, and every message me respond to. So when I come here, you can always, you know, you can always leave your comment and I will try my best to answer them. If it is non-related, then it's just gonna sit in my inbox for a little bit. All right, so that's just it. Thank you, thank you. I did it myself, you know, and then yesterday I kind of I retightened the front so it looks a little bit nicer for a few more weeks. I did retighten it about 2 weeks ago. So, oh, you're a medic? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Are you planning on doing anything else, or are you just doing that for now? I never have no nickname when I was much younger. It's just Stacy. That's just it, Stacy. That's what they call me. So I never really have no nickname. Yeah, nothing is wrong with being a medic. Everybody have their, you know, as I say in a video, I don't know if you watch the video, everybody play a very important role when it comes on to healthcare, patient care. So I see you add, I'm a medic though. I don't really know where that say medic though for. You understand the though? Like you try to something. Like everybody have their different roles and responsibilities, as I said before. So you play your special part. I play my special part as a nurse, and you have your doctor playing their, you know, their special part as a provider as well. I'll be asking many questions on here. Okay, that's fine. As I say, as long as it is, you know, within that line, then I'm okay with answering. So feel free to go ahead and send the message and I'll try to answer. Stacy from where? D Psych NP. I'm originally from Jamaica, Manchester, Jamaica, but now I am in Texas. So that's where I am originally from. Manchester, went to school in Manchester, worked in Manchester, and then left Manchester to the US here and working. I appreciate your line of marriage. And I really know yes, it is so G boss. I really understand what yesterday so. Yeah, so that's, you know, that's where I'm originally from. I'm from the country area. I know about red dirt. Yeah. That's where I'm from. South Manchester, in Jamaica. Country area. Yeah, but my little country, it is just, you know, quiet. You know, really, well, I'm not really say Manchester quiet nowadays because sometimes I hear some things going on down there and I'm like wondering what's happening. But it's pretty quiet. You tend to have a lot of returning residents there because it's not like one of those busy parishes. It's not one of those busy parishes. It's one of those quiet, laid back. Just think of it, it's cold up there, cool up there. So Not much excitement going on in Manchester since, you know, them long time they. G-Boss, where you going so far? Where you going so far? As me say, me always just say it because sometimes, you know, persons just have different motives. So I just say it. Nobody apologize or whatever right about no. If you know you were going to send, you know, your nursing questions, then feel free, or your medic question, then feel free to send it. As I say, it depends on what is being sent. Then I will respond. But your apology accepted. All right. But as I say, if you have questions that you want me to answer, if you have anything that you feel as though I can help with, then definitely reach out. I have a patient today that reminded me why I see them in a limited capacity. Okay. So was that like a psych patient? Was a psych patient, or were you doing something different from psych? Because I know you say you work with another company. Or it was a child. Okay. Yeah. So as I say, I'm thinking about it, but I'm not really so sure yet. I have to go look up the money first. I'm gonna have to try and see if we have some money, find some money. Like Prime Minister Portia seems to have said, we found the money. So I'm gonna try to see if we found the money is gonna work for me. Yeah, but I'm thinking about it. I'll start it. I'm not really like in a rush to finish. If I can finish like from yesterday, then that would have been good, but it's not like I'm in a rush to finish. So I think I'll be starting out with probably one course at a time. And then from there I see how things go. But yeah. And as I say, I'll ask you any questions. If I have any questions that I need, you know, to answer, yeah, I'm gonna reach out to you regarding that. I'm gonna reach out to you regarding that. What I'm looking at is locations for clinicals, because I don't think there is a lot around this side. So me don't know. I'm kind of still nervous about it, but I'll pray about it and see. I'll pray about it. A couple months ago or so, I was saying that I don't think I would be going back to school and all of them stuff there. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of tired with, you know, since I've been here working and then going back to school. And it was just like me not getting any break or anything. So I was like, you know what, this is the time now for me to just live my life. But then I'm like thinking about it because it kind of came up last, you know, a couple of weeks ago. And I was like, you know what, probably I should just get it over with and call it a day. Don Faulkner, how are you doing? Tommy, how are you doing? Goku, thank you. They're blue. Not for any specific reason, but yeah. Look at my Miss World. Oh, Lord. Okay, Mama, how are you doing? So that's just it. But I'm a little bit nervous about, you know, about it, even though I'm not really do anything much about it. But it's just the thought of, you know, doing back another program, then that is the part that is getting me nervous. Blue is a peace color. Okay. Blue is good. Yeah, blue is okay. But the lady kind of spoiled up my nails though. She went ahead and filed on after she put on the top coat. None upset me. I mean, I asked her, like, why are you doing that? She said so she do her nails. So I'm like, you know what? Okay then. But she kind of have a little attitude with it. So I say, you know what? Yeah, this is it. I don't think I'm coming back, because if every time I have to go tell you if you file down my nail or may I ask you why you're doing this, like, you know, make no sense. You know, make no sense. You always have a smile in your face. Ah, yes. You can imagine if me come on this live here, so I'm not smile. Can you imagine if I am not smiling? It will only run away. When it just continue to go so. You guys would be scrolling past. So, but I'm always a pleasant person, as I say. I've always had a, a pleasant face. I was known as the nurse with the infectious smile. That's what one of my supervisor at, the hospital that I work at, they always say they can't pass and see me and not smile, because I'm always smiling. So I take it as a good thing, especially when you're working in an environment like, in the hospital setting where you meet up on patients. And at that time, everybody just upset, you understand? Them going through them little, situations. So to hear somebody say that, or persons keep on saying, oh, you're always just looking, it's just something that is nice. And I feel as though, yes, may I wear it okay? So I will continue to just always have this pleasant look, or just keep on smiling. So, Lovell, welcome. When I say this, I'm not by any means assuming anything. Are you a supporter of the group? I take care of everybody, I take care of every single patient that comes in front of me, regardless of, gender, their race. So that's just it. I am here to provide, safe care. I'm here to provide best care, treat the patient as though, how I'd want to be treated. So I don't know if that answers your question, Lovell. All right. And why Freedom come put all of them letters here. How are you doing, Freedom? You're gonna say hi. Where you gonna spell out? Where you gonna spell out all of them stuff there for? Where you gonna spell out all of them stuff there for? Anyways, I hope your day is going well. All right, hope your day is going well, and you are loved, okay, by regardless of the gender, the color that comes in front of you. I hope that you're loved. I hope that your mother, when when you were much younger, you get a little kiss by your cheek over here. So yes. All right, so I'm going to give you my little 1 and 2, and then now you can continue on my page, but if you keep on typing things, then I'm going to block you. All right. I'm always a fair person. I am always a fair person. Gordon Love, how are you doing? So my CEUs, I do go on to an homophobic streamer. Of course, Lovell. You have to have a tough skin to come on social media, You have to have a tough skin. If you take everything too personal, like, yeah, it's gonna make you feel exhausted by the time you're supposed to finish your live stream, or when you post a video. Yes, it's gonna exhaust you, because everybody just have their own opinion, and people just come and say anything to kind of see how you will respond. So that's just it. So I go on to, what's this this page? I think it's like CEU, let me tell you. Or how do we get my continuing education hours? And sometimes they will send 1 and 2, like, seminars that they're having to, like, they have this Texas page, they'll send it there, and I will attend 1 and 2 and get some, hours. And then I have, oh my word, I think it's like NetCE. NetCE is where I go and get my continuing education hours. PC, I don't really know about that one there, PESI. I've been using NetCE for a long time. PESI. Let me see what that one is. Okay. I'll look up this one and then probably Okay, I'll look up this one and see and compare them. Oh, so you have one that is especially useful for PMH. Okay. I'll look it up and see. But thanks for that one though. D Psych NP. Um, the one time is okay, Lovell. The one time is okay. I appreciate that though. Yeah, but I'll look up this one and see what they offer and how their rates are. Yeah, but NetCE is what I use, and I get some really nice price on them. So I just keep it. So this one sends it over to the board as well. They send over the certification over to the board. Melissa Wilson, how are you doing? Mohammed, how are you doing? So what you up to, Gordon Love? So we're talking about continuing education hours. Where we get it, you can actually download, and if you're in Jamaica, I think you can still use this as well if you're looking for continuing education hours. So you can download NetCE. That is what I use. I've been using it for the last couple of years since I've been here, and it keeps track of your certifications as well. So if you need clinical hours, you never get enough, in your hospital, or depending on the program that you're doing, if you never get enough at that time, you can always get additional clinical hours on that website at reasonable prices. I'm here stressing about my test. I failed by 1 on Sunday. Oh Lord, I'm so sorry to hear that. So when will you be able to do it again, Gordon? Waldemore Adams, welcome. Yeah, I remember when I was in college at the time, there was I was in what was I doing again? It was summer, and I was doing this course, but there were 2 courses that I needed to do in order to advance to, the 3rd year in Kingston. And may I tell you, say, I ended up picking up 3 courses that summer. I don't know why I feel like 7 minutes smart. I don't know why. I pick up biochemistry. I pick up it wasn't biostatistics. Yeah, it was biostatistics and computer. I think it was a computer course. Who tell me if you gonna do that? I was so distracted with chemistry and computer at the time, because I said, no sir, this was just so much. It wasn't computer. There was another course that I needed to do. What may I tell you, say it was difficult. I was trying to see if I could do all 3 of them, but it wasn't working out, and so I ended up dropping the course. But at the time when I dropped the course, it was a little bit too late. Yes, it was a little bit too late. I ended up, they failed the course because I never ended up going to the biostats, because I could actually do the biostats at the Kingston campus, but the other 2 courses, it was chemistry and something, and microbe. I don't know why I decided to pick up chemistry, biochemistry, and microbiology. Lord have mercy. And then put biostats on top of it. So I do 3 courses for the summer. I had to drop the biostats because I definitely needed microbe and the biochemistry too to advance the Kingston campus. So I said, no sir, I'm gonna just cut off this course, call it a day, and just focus on those 2 so I can actually finish, because summer is usually short. Finish the summer, and then I can always go back to doing the biostats, the following semester. But because I had so much, I feel as though I had so much time where I could do, the summer, and the courses weren't going to be like, oh, but the courses that mad me. The 2 courses that mad me. But anyways, I did pass them, went into Kingston, and then from there, I did my biostats. I think I did the biostats like the following summer because it wasn't something that was needed like at that time. Any tips and tricks I can use for these subjects? Oh, you're doing nutritional science. Okay. I don't really know much about I think I did the one nutritional course in a college, one nutritional course in college. Tips and tricks. I don't really know any tips and tricks to tell you about nutrition. I don't really know much about I can't even remember the one course I did. Yeah, we did what? What was the name of that course? Yeah, well, there was so much to learn. There was so much to learn at the time for that course. But I can't really tell you any tips or any tricks for that nutritional course. Honestly, Gordon, you just have to read because that's what I ended up buying the book. I remember it was a red book. It was a red book. I remember buying that textbook and then know like the different nutrients. Yes, micronutrients, macronutrients. Yes, I had to be highlighting and writing and doing tables because me couldn't remember some of the things. So definitely that is what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to get the book or, you know, depending on how you study and write down certain things so you can actually remember them. But I remember I was doing a lot of tables for that course, marking up that textbook. Hi, we can contact you for information about nursing for beginners. Yeah, you can ask any question. You can ask any question. Isa. Universe Boss, how are you doing? Thank you. How are you doing? Yeah, but as I say, you just have to, like certain courses, you literally have to just buckle down in the content itself, in the textbook. You have to just read until you get it. And that was one of the courses for me as well. Pathophysiology, pharmacology, even though, you know, a lot of us graduate and we never really grasp everything when it comes down to pharmacology. But definitely you have to spend a lot of time sitting down, reading through some of those courses. Nutritional course, as I say, it wasn't something that I was familiar with in like, because you know, some persons do nutrition in high school. I never did nutrition in high school. So when it comes down to those micro and macronutrients, like we never really know much information regarding that. So yeah. Did you do probability and statistics? So I did biostats. How did biostats they go? I don't really remember the probability part about the statistics course. But yeah, I did statistics, but you know, the statistics is different from the biostats is a little bit different from the regular statistics that you would do as a accounting student. So yeah. But the probability, I think it would be a part of that, the biostats and everything, but I can't really remember the detail for it. Can't remember the detail regarding that. But it wasn't my favorite class either. Biostat and research wasn't my favorite class. Just give me the nursing courses and say, go and do those, and that would have been it. But all of those general courses, you know, the teaching course was okay because I did a teaching, sorry, I did a few courses, you know, before I transfer over to nursing in teaching because I was doing teacher education, but I was doing business education. Sorry. Yeah, so I had a few courses that, you know, I was able to switch over to nursing that were similar. Amela, how are you doing? Sharon Bonafire. Migration navigation nurse. Yes, nutrition was a lot. I never really liked it. As I say, it wasn't my favorite course, but you needed to pass it to get into Kingston campus, so, or your third year, the advanced nursing courses for your BSN. So I had to buckle down and yes, and do it. And the thing about it, a lot of things that we study in nursing school as usual, you don't really see them in the real world like that. So I can't remember anything from I can't really remember anything. You see it when you're doing your care plans, but in terms of anything else outside of that, no, teaching was boring. I love teaching. That was my second love. So when I'd apply for college, or when I was about to apply for college and I went up by the enrollment office, a young lady had told me that I needed human and social biology, but I have straight bio. And I was like, human and social biology? But at the time, I was going to try and get into pre-college because I'm like, I really wanted to do nursing. But because I never really have the money, I never have the money at all, I never really feel like, say, I needed to be wasting my time to go and do human and social biology when I have straight bio. And so I say, you know what, okay then, if you don't say so, let me just go ahead and do teacher education. So while I was like, one semester out, the first semester is usually like general courses. Then I was like, I went back up to them and I'm like, I don't know. I have human and social biology. Why is it that you guys prefer the straight, I have straight bio. Why is it that you guys prefer the human and social biology? Plus, the, what you call it now, the bulletin, that they have this thing which kind of gives you the outline for your program. It was saying biology or H&S bio. And I was like, why? And the lady was saying, no, they prefer the bio rather than the human and social. So I said, yeah, I have my bio, so I don't understand why. So when they asked me who I told them, because at the time, the campus is not like a huge campus. The departments don't really have that much persons. So when I told them the person, they were like, oh, it's a student worker. Because, at the university, they have a lot of student workers there. And she was a grown up. So I was just thinking that, oh, yeah, she knew what she was saying. But she was a student worker. And that's how I ended up going ahead and apply for teacher education based on what she had said. So then when, this lady, she was in charge of admissions and enrollment, she told me that no, they can actually get me switched over to nursing. But, nursing only starts a certain time of the year. So I was like, okay, no problem. And that's when I went in and did the interview. I got in with straight bio. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. But the young lady was a student nurse, a student worker, because a lot of persons were doing work and study. So she was a student worker. So she's the one who told me that I needed human and social biology. But I did not miss my bio from high school. But as I say, I never had money to go and do human and social biology. And I just never wanted to be wasting any time. I just wanted to get a degree and start to work because I didn't have no money. And that was just it. So I never really feel the need to be wasting any more time to be doing any other subject. So I got in, did the interview and got in, and that was it. Yeah, but it is straight bio. They prefer the straight bio than the human and social biology. Yeah, it is straight bio. And at that time, the nursing department was very, very small at that time, because that was when in 2000 and I was say 2015, the ending of like 2015 there about, because I started around 2016. I got into, the college, the university in 2016. But I never started doing classes until around the August because I was working at the time. So yes, Hyacinth Chen. And funny enough, my batch was the first batch for the Hyacinth Chen School of Nursing building. Yes, so we were the first one. So when Hyacinth Chen was built, we were the first batch of students over there, because at that time, as I say, the nursing department was over the other side on the main campus. But the department, we're gonna say probably about 40 students, if so much, they were accepting into the department because they were very strict in terms of who gets into nursing. It wasn't because you feel like you want to be a nurse, you go in there. No, you have to convince the folks that yes, this is your calling. So we were the first one. We were the first one to open, you know, the ISN School of Nursing over there and explore with all of the fancy stuff, you know, the mannequins and everything. So it was pretty nice. Oh, so Sam, you went to ISN? So you went to NCU, Sam? Lifted. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, well, I went to BTCC, finished 2010. May I try pick up what the BTCC. Oh, Brownstone Community College, right? Migration Navigation Nurse. I'm thinking that's what you're saying. Brownstone Community College. Okay. Okay, you finished in 2010, so you finished a year before me, because I finished in 2011. I graduated August 13th and 14, 2011. And then I did my exam. When did I do my exam? I did my exam October 4th and 5th. October 4th and 5th of 20. So I graduated, of 2011. That's when I did my exam. Yeah, so we were the first one to sit in that ISN School of Nursing and graduate from there. It was nice. It was nice. You still have your pin? Of course, I still have my pin, Migration Navigation Nurse. I have all of my pin them. They're in my little room. So that way, every time you can see that, okay, then this is where I started. I have all my ID. This is where I started, you know. This is where I started and this is where I'm at. So, me even have my first job offer from Southern Regional Health Authority. But Jamaican, I'm gonna save everything. I'm a poor nursing license. Oh, wait there. See me here. This is when. Oh, this was the last one I got. So when I it was expiring. Let me show you now. Oh, wait there. Oh, you probably can't really see it, but yeah, man. Well, my poor little face. So see her there? That's my second nursing license in Jamaica. I think the first one, there's somewhere about the place. But that was my first picture. You know, them not really take a new picture unless something seemed to happen. You can't find yours? No, man, you have to go and search for it. You have to go and search for it. You have to go and search for it. And even my, I still have my NCU ID. I know my ID out of my head. It was 130611 and two more numbers. But I'm not giving the two number. Yes, it was 1306, so 1306. The 06 is the year you start. The 13, I'm not so sure if the 13 was like a number for what place you were. I don't know when you apply, but the 06 is the year you start. So if you start in 2002, it's gonna be like, you know, 1302. Yes, and then you have the remainder of the number. So sometimes, like when I call the university, if I need something, I always just telling them my ID number. And it's the same thing for like Walden. I would say this is my ID number because there are certain things I hold on to. You know, your ID, exactly. There are certain things I just hold on to. My license is up to date though. Lord, the migration, navigation. Hello, my ID. The thing is, I never know that I needed to keep it. Like, you know, there is a form that you needed to fill out to get your license up to date. So the other day when we had Hurricane Melissa, I wanted to go to Jamaica and do some volunteer services, and then only to realize that I have to go pay for all of the, you know, the the years that I've been out of the country not practicing. And I'm like, this is just so unfair. I'm supposed to just kind of give the people them a temporary pass and say, okay, then come down and do whatever, or just get some clinical hours. It's not like I wasn't working. I am working in the US. So they say I needed to do that. And I'm like, oh, you pay for your own? No, I never pay for my own. I never pay for my own. But that's nice though. I said when I go down, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do get my license renewed. And then the problem was trying to find somebody to go and pay the money and all of those things. It was gonna be a bit of a trouble. Some say, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. Was Mr. Williams around back then? Yes, Mr. Williams was always around, and there was another one, Mr. I remember his name, a dark-skinned gentleman. I think a Damien, Mr. Damien. I think so. Damien. Yep. I go home and practice. The psych. That is the plan. That is the reason why I am going to be doing it, because the people are being a little bit more aware of, it's not all about, oh, we're gonna say crazy, or this is what is happening. People can come to you for anxiety, depression. People understand that the mental health world, it's not all about you being bipolar, schizophrenic, or, they are coming to persons nowadays for different reasons, including depression, anxiety, which a lot of persons seem to be experiencing, worldwide. So I feel as though, yes, I will still be an asset in that market, down there, so as well as here. So that is one of the reasons why, especially with it being so remote, I can practice basically from anywhere. So that is one of the reasons why I'm doing that. So if you did it online, how did you pay the money? Because the last time I went down to renew mine, I had to go to Crossroads to pay it at the bank. How you renew your own? Which is why I need my Jamaican credentials. Okay. As I say, you're gonna have to just go through the nursing council. You're gonna have to just go through the nursing council, and I don't know if I'm gonna tell us if they do the exam down there, or they will just use your nursing experience here and kind of give you privileges in Jamaica. I don't know. I know when you have doctors coming down, they will get privileges. They don't have to go and sit the exam, it seems. I don't think they go and sit the exam when they come on certain contract. They probably just come down and they get privileges to work in facilities. I'm thinking. I don't know if it is correct. You can let me know, but that's what I'm thinking. I don't know if you're going to have to sit the nursing exam to get that initial license in the country. I'm not really so sure. Yeah. Yeah, but the account that they were giving, oh, you pay it online through your Scotia account. Whenever we really did I think about that one. I think probably because the last time I went down, I did it, I had to go into Scotia. I had to go into Scotia in I think it was like Crossroads. I went to Scotia and paid the money to the account. I don't know why I never think about Scotia Bank to see if I could add it to it. Not a psychiatrist, but psychiatrist in the capacity. Okay. Yeah, I'd have to try and find out some information regarding that. Drisukul. Hi, welcome. You're in Nambia. Okay. What's the time in Nambia? Dry Sukul. I use online banking and did a transfer. I use TD Bank, but it's possible. Okay. I know you can do other things, because like when I was paying my student loan, it was through my Scotia and everything. I was doing that, but I wasn't thinking about, or probably I did try it. I don't know. Or because I was going down to Jamaica at the time. But I don't. For this time around, when I was looking at it, I didn't think about doing the Scotia. I don't know why. Yeah, but I do a lot of things like through my Scotia account in Jamaica. And it work out, so but I never try with this one. What state are you in, migration navigation nurse? Thank you, Yaren. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me tell you my secret though. So the braids I got from Expression, and I just plait at the root, the 3-strand plait at the root, and then the 2-strand at the end. So I don't know what a texture here is like, just in case you want to try it. I don't know, but that is what I use in this. And I think this was a 16-inch. The 16-inch. I kind of love this now. I usually like to do the Folox looking one, but for some strange reason, this is just easier to pull down than the Folox, because when I do the Folox, I normally plait it with the 3-strand, and then I take the extra here now and wrap it around so it look like the rope, and it look like more of the, you know, when you lock your hair. So this is what is a little bit easier for me to do nowadays. I think they use Scotia. Okay. Yeah, so that's just it. Yeah, I was asking what state are you in, navigation nurse, if you don't mind. Dre boy, welcome. Oh, you're in Toronto. Okay. How the cold over there? When I know me couldn't deal with the cold, I couldn't do the cold. And then I went into New Brunswick when I was in Maine. Did a road trip up in the bush, Maine, and go all the way into Canada. I mean, I tell you, say, it was a nice, because Maine is like a lot of trees. It's like wilderness. So like driving through, going through into Canada, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. But if y'all wanna drive up there, I wanna encourage it. I wanna encourage it. It was a group of us that went up there, but like there are persons who live like right at the border, you know, of between Canada and Maine there, or not between, right at the border. But you would think that because they're so close to Canada, because they're on the border and the closest hospital are like 15 minutes away, you're thinking if that person get a heart attack, then would I go to that hospital? No, so they have to drive, go all the way a couple hours, well, probably 4 hours, all the way back to Bangor, or they can go to one of the other hospitals, but the hospitals are so small. So the major hospital, they would have to drive probably like 4 or 5 hours all the way back to that hospital if they're having a cardiac emergency. So there was a patient at one point that was was having one of those emergency. So when they said, oh, the patient is like closer to Canada, they were like so close to Canada. And I'm like, so why don't I just go over there? But in my mind, I don't really think about the border. I wasn't thinking about the border. I'm like, okay, then 30 minutes. They had to go ahead and airlift the patient from down that side. Airlift the patient from down that side and carry the patient come all the way down to Bangor to the main hospital. And I'm like, whoa, I don't think I would risk it living up that side, because especially, you know, if you're in age and you know you have certain problems. But I understand that people have them land, but to be waiting for ambulance service, I think what had happened is they had to drive to a different location. They had to drive to a different location, and then they got picked up from that location, because based on where they live, like the helicopter couldn't land right there. So it was like, no, so I couldn't deal with that there. But a pure bush up there, one bag of bush. Sorry, Unbroken, how are you doing? How are you doing? But it was a nice little, you know, ride into New Brunswick, heading into, you know, Canada there. But it was so cold. It was beautiful. I don't know if it was because of the time of the day, why the place they just look so lonely, or probably because it is so closer to Maine. Nobody really want to live down that side. But it was quiet. It was very clean. It was very clean. That was one thing I noticed about like driving in New Brunswick, trying to go all the way up to, I wish for Scotia Bank or something like that. Or no, I think it was like in the Nova Scotia. Or probably it's just the bank, me need see. I think it was like Nova Scotia. Yeah, so I remember seeing this huge Nova Scotia building. And I was like, oh, wow, this is nice. This is nice. Wagwan, you good? Yes, I am good. May I go to Jamaica to practice in patois? Eh? You going down there? You don't need to go to Jamaica to go practice patois. Eh? You don't need to go to Jamaica to go practice patois. Just go onto YouTube. You might find 1 or 2 videos over there. Get as much as you can, and then you take a trip down there to have real conversations in patois. How does that sound? But if you're going down there to practice it, I don't know who will teach you down there. I don't think you're going to find a dedicated person who is going to sit down and teach you patois. So you have to get the basics from the internet. And then after, you can have communication when you get down there with the folks in patois. Because if you're like, yeah, you're not going to work out. It's not going to work out. But yeah, man, it was a lot of bush down that side. But it was beautiful though, because the trees were very, very tall. Because you know them are compete for the sun. The trees are very, very tall down that side. And it was just green, and it was very beautiful at the time driving through Maine. But as I say, there is not much, like for a few hours, not much based on where me did live and, you know, where you're going. It wasn't much. And then, you know, it was a good thing. I know we were going into Canada. So, you know, because, you know, you have your little green card, you have to walk with everything, you know what am I going to ask you say? So, we did walk with our passport, our green card, birth certificate. Because this is the first time you're driving into another, we're gonna say, country. You understand? So we did walk with all of those. So that way, if anybody asks, how wanna reach a foreign, you know, or what are you, like, who are you? But the line wasn't long. I think probably because, you know, it's between Maine and Canada there. The line wasn't long. It was very, very short. They just say, oh, okay, all right, no problem. And then we just went through. But it was okay. Those places are less populated. I tell you, because Maine is very huge, you know, it's very huge, but, well, not really say huge. In terms of the, like, the population and the land space, you know, like, you know, develop, you know, like, develop. Because as I say, like, you'll be driving and it's just one bag of wilderness you drive through. And it's the same thing when you're going down to Portland. It was just like on each side. You can't really see anything. It was just a lot of wilderness. But it was beautiful. Acadian, they have this place called Acadian. It's like in another section. Acadia. Like it's a national park. It was beautiful. If you go down to Bar Harbor is beautiful as well. You can, like, a lot of times you have, especially in the summer now, you have a lot of persons, the ships coming in, they'll be docking, so you have a lot of tourists coming into that area. So that is a section that has a lot of Jamaican workers. So a lot of Jamaican workers working in the hotels, you know, working in the restaurants down there during that busy time. And then in the winter, like a little bit closer to, you know, the colder time there in the winter period, you can go down there and watch. You can do whale watching and all of those things down there from the ship. So it's beautiful. And if you're into lobster, them say them have the best lobster in America. I don't really know because I don't really eat lobster. So you guys will have to go down there and tell me how it tastes and how it goes. All right? I finally passed my exam on my second attempt thanks to my tutor for the guidance and helpful tips. Congratulations, Emma. Congratulations on that. How do people them do the thing where you where they make the noise? How you do that? Songs of life. How you make the clapping sound on TikTok? Let's see. All right. Hey, this year songs of TikTok. No songs. Oh no, no, not that. Emma, I want to clap for you, but I don't really know if you clap using TikTok. Super fun box. Let me see if it's that. No, I don't know if you clap on TikTok, but congratulations though, Emma. Excited for you. Welcome to nursing, Yeah, so make sure you get some rest now. I know during nursing school, you're probably sitting up a lot of times, late hours, early morning studying. Probably before the exam, you haven't been sleeping because you're so, scared, and you're probably worried that you're not going to be doing well. So I know a lot of anxiety was taking over. So now is the time to kind of go and lie down in your bed and sleep until late hours. All right, mademoiselle, lie down and sleep, and start sending out applications later on, or as soon as you feel the need to. But make sure you take a little break. You deserve it. You deserve it. Nursing school is hard. Nursing school is hard, so make sure you take that break. She's sweet like sugar. Yeah, you can always find persons to practice with, but as I say, start communicating, talk to yourself in the phone before you go down there, because then the folks them are gonna look on you like, okay, then what are you trying? Because them not in that foolishness when you start opening your mouth and try to talk patois. So make sure say you have it under, you get it before you go down there to try talking patois, because not everybody is willing to teach you patois. It's not something you come and say, oh, can you teach me patois? And somebody is gonna be like, okay then. No, nobody really have time for that. Nobody have no time for that. That's why sometimes when I hear a person say speak patois, to something in a patois, no, it's not something like we do like that. You're just having your conversations and you're in, out, with your patois. Yes, they also taught me Q cuss words. I wouldn't want to. Oh, no, don't repeat it. No, don't repeat it. Hey, Angela, how are you doing? How is the weather treating you? Hi, Manny, welcome. MJ says, I passed my NCLEX in 2023, September. I am still waiting. Retrogression is my nightmare. I know, MJ. Congratulations. That retrogression is, I can't deal with it either, because I know people have, things that they need to get done. They have things that they need to get done. And the retrogression a whole up a lot of us progress right about now, because they have some persons who would have wanted to go back to school, and they're hesitant about doing so because they don't know when the pause is going to be lifted. So I totally understand. Where are you though, MJX? Because 3 years, that's 6 years no. No. 3 years, 3 years no. 6 yeah. But I'm hoping that, hopefully soon things will start, processing. Neymar, welcome. No, Neymar, may have one already. Thank you though. I am in Botswana. Okay, nice. Are you practicing now as a nurse though? Are you practicing as a nurse? Harrison, hello. How are you doing? Congratulations. Congratulations, mademoiselle. Neymar. Oh Lord. Welcome to the page, okay? One. A lot of mercy, unbroken. Yeah, you don't say those to anybody. Yes, I've been working as a nurse for 12 years. Oh, okay, nice. Because I know the other day I was talking with a few persons and they weren't working at the time. There was this young man who wasn't working as a nurse for probably like 4 years. I mean, I say like, I understand, but we need to figure out something regarding clinical skill, because when you have retrogression, that pause being lifted, it's going to be a case where you're in a competition with other persons who have experience. And even though some countries might be short-staffed, I'm sure what is going to be happening is they're going to choose somebody who have some form of experience. So to be out of the system, you graduate, you get your license, and you're not working for 4 years, 5 years, it's going to be hard for you to get a job. It's going to be hard for you to get a job, because then you're thinking about mistakes that you probably come over here and make. You're going to be a little bit more prone to it. All of those. So I told the person to try to see if they could get some volunteer services going. You understand? Tell the people them that you will come and work for, a day. Free labor. But all me need you do in return is sign off my little paper to say that I did 12 hours on a medical floor, 12 hours in the emergency room. So that can be your evidence to say that you have some skills, you're working. Because I just feel as though there is going to be so many applications that they'll be approving from these companies. And if you don't have any experience since you graduate, you went there at the bottom of the line, the back of the class, you go there. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. So if you're out there and you're one of those persons who haven't started, try see if you can get some volunteer services going on in one of those hospitals in your country. And at the same time, just make sure that you're logging those hours. Make it count. Even if they don't want it, but you don't want it to be a case where when that pause is lifted, you don't have anything. And then hospitals are going to tell you that, oh, we decline, getting those individuals because they have zero experience. Volunteering services and working in that capacity, because you're licensed in your country, it's just that you're not getting any money for it. If you are, wanting to move, there are certain things that you're going to have to do, certain sacrifices you're going to have to make in order to, make that a reality. And if it means that one day out of the week, you're going to be working for free just because you want to have some evidence to say that, yes, I have, 6,000 clinical hours. Them not need to know whether or not it is free or, you get paid for it. You get paid for the hours. You just need to know that, yes, the manager sign or the regional officer sign, somebody sign off to say that you completed these hours. That's the most important thing right now. But that's good though, MJX. That's good. 12 years in med-surg. Okay. So I know you've been on the pause for a little while. Is there anything that is going on where you wanted to take the risk, like doing a certification, going back to school? Is there anything that has been going on where because of the pause, you're not doing it anymore? Brian, welcome. Canada making it easier for nurses. Okay, nice, nice. Yeah, and that's the other thing I was saying. Like, yes, you probably have signed up with companies in the US. US have them pause. Have we thought about other countries, or definitely this is the country that you want? Because I know you have UK and Canada that is accepting, nurses. Is that something that we've considered, or probably because we already signed our contract with certain agencies, we don't want to take that risk? Is that something that you have thought about? I think there was a young lady that is in Canada, not Canada, UK. So I met her last year on TikTok here, and we've been talking. So I put her in the little box here on TikTok, and we were talking, and at the time she was trying to get interviews going. I think at the time she was looking in Maine, because I was talking about Maine, and she was like, you know what, there's a psych facility in Maine that she would probably go and try working at. So I tell her, go ahead and accept the job up there. If I decide to send you, go up there and take it, and then you can always leave afterwards. You don't have to stay there forever. But you need to figure out how you're going to get into the US here. But at that time, the pause wasn't up as yet. They never had the pause. And then I think with the pause, she went ahead and applied for Canada. She went and applied for Canada, and I think probably she's in Canada right now. She is in Canada because she had already done the NCLEX here in the US. And you know that if you do the NCLEX in the US, you can actually use that same license and get a job in Canada. But you know, you still have to do the regular processing and whatever. But your NCLEX in the US can actually be used in Canada. So I don't know if that is something that persons are thinking about. As I say, one young lady, she was in Canada working, UK working, and now is in, I think probably I know she's in Canada because she had gotten her offer and everything. I did ACLS, BLS. I'm planning to do theater nursing now before I come that side. The other thing you need to look at though, MJX, is whether or not they recognize your OR certification. Because I know sometimes they have some certifications in some country that you might do and it help you in your country, but it means that them recognize it here in the US. So that's the only thing I would say regarding that. Just make sure it is something that is recognized here in the US. My certification in Jamaica that I did, yes, it helped me in emergency room nursing, but when I got here, them not recognize it. They don't recognize nothing. You have to go and do it, you know, the emergency certification here. So just make sure that it is something that is going to be recognized, and then from there you can decide whether or not, yes, you have a little money where you want to just spend and get that OR certification, build on your skill in your country in the meantime. But then when you get here, you might go and do a course to specialize in that area if that's what you want. Canada has clinical extern jobs for those RNs waiting to practice. Okay, nice. I think the other day they had I don't remember where it was that they were accepting nurses from the US here. A lot of persons, and they were paying a lot of money. A lot of money they were paying. Come here, some nurses said that they were gonna sign up to live in Canada. I mean, I say, money sounds sweet, but Lord, we can't deal with nurse. I can't deal with the snow right about now. It's gonna be depressing for me. If it was a case where I never experienced working in Maine and somebody tell me, say, come and live in Canada, then probably I'll be like, okay, then when do I start? You know, that kind of feeling. If it was that kind of situation, then I would be like, okay, then I am gonna go and work in Canada. But I've experienced living in Maine. I mean, I think said there is nowhere that is gonna be that cold and the amount of snowfall that, you know, I'm gonna have to deal with. Never again. I won't be doing that. I won't be doing that. I am in Texas. No, I am in Texas. Maine is expensive. I'm not really so sure. I think probably, you know, the states that have, and just like probably in Canada, with the fact that you have the snow and all of those things that are, you know, fall so heavily, I just feel as though those states tend to be a little bit expensive. But I'm not really see much sure. But then again, I never really used to buy anything too much in Maine because there's not much places in Maine to, like, you know, be doing anything. Maine, very, very boring. So if you are the kind of person that is, you know, you just want somewhere to go and live, work, go home and lock up in your room, yes, that's your kind of vibe, then probably Maine is gonna be it. Maine is depressing. Depressing. And if you're from Maine here, don't get me wrong, but you have to understand, I'm from the Caribbean. Maine, 3 o'clock on Maine right about now would look like about midnight. Because that was the first thing that I hated when I realized I am in I'm in a store and I look outside and I realize the outer door dark. And I had to tell the young man that was transitioning me, like he was helping me with shopping. I mean, I said, no, you can't go home now. Because he's from Jamaica. I was like, yeah, you can go home. And he was like, it's just after 3. So I said, what do you mean by after 3? He was like, it's after 3. Someone said 3 o'clock. So why the place look so dark? And that was when depression started kicking in. Not depressed to the point where I needed, evaluation. But may I tell you, when a Jamaican say them depressed because them not have no money, that the kind of depression me I talk about. I wasn't enjoying it. I wasn't, because 3 o'clock in the evening, 4 o'clock in the evening was looking like around 8 o'clock at Jamaica, 9 o'clock at Jamaica. So I told him he could go home, and him said no after 3. I look on my phone and I realize it's after 3. I said, no, sir, this not gonna work out. It's not gonna work out. And then when it started snowing, that even make it worse, because you'll think that, oh, a little bit of snow come down, and a little bit of snow, and a little snow we see in New York, prior to me visiting Maine and seeing that amount of snow. It's not that amount of snow. When I tell you say snow up so, no sir, can't do it. Love nor money. I think I get depressed in winters here too. It is sad. It is sad. It is sad. I am in Texas, heavy specs. I'm in Texas. How is the working environment for foreign nurses in Texas? Everywhere you go, I feel as though if you're a foreign or international nurse, you're probably just going to be experiencing it. You have to be strong. Let me just say that. You have to be strong, okay? So start work on your strength, not only your physical strength, because you're going to need it. Not only your physical strength, because why I said that sometimes I alone and God there in the patient room. So your physical strength you're going to be needing. Emotionally, yes, you're going to have to work on that as well. When it comes on to skills, make sure you start working on skills. Make sure your skills them up to, you're good with your skills, because those are very, very important here. Your IV, depending on the department that you're working in. I know you say you're working in med-surg right now, so I don't know if on med-surg in your country, you guys do a lot of IVs. I feel as though every nurse should be proficient at IV cannulation. You should be. You understand? Because not all the time you might have the emergency room nurse come into your floor, or they might have a nurse, who does blood draw or IVs for your unit. So I just feel as though you're supposed to be proficient at that. Because when it comes down to, even if you're on the floor and you have your patient that is hypoglycemic, patient unresponsive, doing certain things, and you need an IV, if you can put that IV in, it will save you time, save the patient life, and that's just it. So I just feel as though every nurse should be proficient at it. But it is gonna be tough for you as an international nurse, not only because you're an international nurse, but with the fact that transitioning, learning the culture is something that you have to learn at the same time when you're working in a department that has its own culture. So it's like you're working, you're trying to deal with two culture. You understand? You're already having the culture shock with certain things, depending on your English. Because you hear me now talking. Yes, me have to polish it up and twist up and all of them stuff there. Me can't do the twisting that much. You understand? I cannot do the twisting that much. And certain things that at the time that I, like certain terminologies that I would be using in a Jamaica or my culture, or let's say Caribbean folks would understand, when you come up here, it's like a total different world. You understand? The language, it's different, and depending on the state that you're going in and how cultured they are. In Maine, a lot of the folks in Maine never seem like them leave Maine based on the conversations that we're having. A lot of them not seem like, they left the state of Maine. So that even made it so hard. It's like you're there and it's somebody who already left the state of Maine and did some traveling if you interpret sometimes for me. I mean, I say, huh? Yeah, so it can be a little bit tricky. It's gonna be a lot for you to deal with. But as I say, I made it through. You have other nurses that made it through. I've seen Africans here and them language, you know, 100. English no 100. You understand? And they made it through. So don't feel as though the information I'm sharing now is to not make you feel like, you know, you're gonna be able to survive working in the state. I'm just letting you know that. Hold on there. I'm letting you know that yes, there are gonna be challenges here, but you can do it. A lot of persons do it. They're still doing it. So you'll be fine. All right. You will be fine. Hold on there 1 minute. I have this little thing here that is holding my phone up and the battery did. Yeah, but it is gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot if you know for work in a team, you know, as a team, if you're a team player, it will work out for you. But as I say, if you have 12 years of nursing experience, you'll be fine. Nursing is just the, you know, the protocols, the policies you need to, like say, start focusing on when you get here. All right. Oh, the charger there. Oh. Those are just the things that are going to make it a little bit harder for you or for us as international nurses. All right, so let's see. Where did this go? Ooh. But otherwise, it's okay. But I see you said Texas. Texas is okay. I like it here. As I say, it's cultured. It's a little bit more cultured than some other places that I've, you know, I would have wanted to go or I've worked at, but yeah. But your skills, as I say, work on your skills and make sure you know if you do IVs. Make sure you know if you do IVs. That's very, very important. You want to work in Texas? Okay, so just tell them whenever whenever you are doing your application, just let them know that you want to go to Texas. Let them know that you want to go to Texas. Hopefully there will be jobs or that company is working with companies here in Texas where you can, you know, you can get one of those opportunities to be here. But even if it is not in, like say, Dallas, it's not in Austin, Houston, still take the job. Still take the job. You understand? Still take the job because at the end of the day, you're in Texas. You don't have to be driving a couple hours, you know, to get into Texas. You're already here, so you can always just drive a few more hours and get to the place that you really want to be. Hey, Mr. Will, how are you doing? I just sent a request to join from other page. I don't see the request. You sure you send it to this? No. I told it, oh, you're with Avant. It's gonna be worth it. Your experience, you're gonna enjoy the whole process with them. They're the company that I came up with. Let me see. I mean, I really see that Mr. Will. Okay.
There you go.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Hi, ladies.
Hi. How are you?
I am good. I'm here.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Okay. All right. So I have taught the shift here.
You're in Texas. You're trying to recruit people over there.
Yes, because it's warm and depending on where the folks are, a lot of them don't really want to go in at the cold. So, you know, just tell the people them where is feeling comfy right now. So, yeah. So, how was your day?
Pretty good. It was good.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so what? Huh?
You know how like Florida have their what they have, the hurricane and all of that. Georgia, we have like tornadoes.
Yeah.
What's Texas demons? Sandstorm?
Oh no. We have the tornadoes, we have the hail. What else we have down here in Texas? Yeah, pretty much. Some places you'll hear about flooding, but the flooding is a little bit further most of the time. But you know, it's a natural disaster. It can happen anywhere once the drains are not, you know, cleared. But it seems like they have good drainage here, so.
It's hot too.
Oh yeah, the heat. Uh-huh. Yeah.
I would take an assignment in Texas and just see family while I'm there.
Okay, so you've been to Texas before?
Yeah, my son lives in Houston and my brother lives in Dallas.
Okay. So I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Uh-huh.
Dallas.
Yeah. I used to work at one of the hospitals in Dallas, but a lot of traffic.
Really?
The traffic. Huh?
I don't think it's worse than
You don't think it's worse than Atlanta?
Oh no, I think Atlanta is in a different, yeah. But it was awful because sometimes I would be leaving around let's say 5:30 in the morning. On a regular day, my drive time would be about 30 minutes on a regular day. But in that early morning, trying to get in for 7 o'clock, yeah, I have to leave out around that time to kind of beat the traffic because 6 o'clock, 6:30, you still have a bit of a traffic going in. So M. Jakes is asking, what is Talk Your Shift all about?
Tell them what Talk Your Shift all
Talk Your Shift, it's mostly just a platform where we can discuss just our shift challenges, our shift funnies, our shift can't you believe this, just a little venting session. And we also talk about trending topics that are viral.
in healthcare.
In healthcare.
Okay.
Processes, just stuff like that, all shift related.
Nice, yeah. Okay.
Stuff we talk about stuff people is afraid to say out loud.
Yes, that's nice.
Stay employed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do something similar to this, but persons would call in. They would call in and they can just talk. So nobody need to know who is on the line. Yes, you just chit chat and share how your day went, and it was good. It was good. Okay, so we have M. Jakes who followed you guys. So,
And then they can check out the full episodes on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. It's also on other platforms, Spotify. No, not Spotify.
It is on
Apple
Spotify.
Music, Spotify. So it's on different platforms. You can just type it in too.
okay. And it's the same handle, Talk Your Shift?
Yes.
Okay. So they're on YT as well, so you can go and follow them on YT. Okay. So what you guys up to for today?
We just done filming or filming, you know, American would say, but so we just like chillaxing right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we wrapped up our 8th episode? 7?
Okay. Love that for you guys. Love that for you guys.
How was your day?
My day was good, you know. It wasn't like say busy. I was supposed to have 7 patients today, but 2 weren't available because they're out of town. So I only saw 5. But the drive time was a little bit of a distant, but it was good. You know, my patients are in the home. All of these patients were in the home, and there was 1 assisted living. So the patients that I see, I do see them as a primary care provider. So I see them like every month, sometimes twice a month. So now is the time when I'm trying to get some patients' annual visits going for the year. So it's not so bad because, you know, when you're working with patients every month, you basically know them. So you're checking in to see if there is any issues that they're having, you know. And sometimes I don't really do chronic care management where we focus on like your diabetes, hypertension, those chronic illnesses. I don't do that because my company doesn't have a proper structure. And until that is set, I can see where you have your patients and what we're doing, who is assigned to me. Until I have that going, or until he has that set up, then I won't be taking part in the chronic care management. So I'll just see them regular per month.
Okay.
Do you like home health?
No, my love is emergency room nursing, but since I started home health, it has been okay. I still can, I can see the rewards. It's a rewarding, field, let's just say, because initially I know that I'm not the kind of person that is always open to going into person's home. And especially a lot of persons here do have a lot of pets. You understand? And I think that was going to be a challenge for me. But, once I kind of let the folks know that, hey, you have to put away that dog, then I'm okay. I'm okay with going in. But as you know, it's their home. It's their safe haven. And it's just you going into their home to provide that care. It's not always going to be how you are wanting it to be, but you just have to work with it because that's just how they want it. So it's different, but it's all right.
You still practice bedside in the emergency room?
Yes. So I did emergency nursing for, we're gonna say probably 11 years. So that, and then I wanted to do like acute care and start working in emergency. But then when I realized what a lot of our acute nurses are doing, and then when I see what their pay looks like, not saying the pay wasn't good, but I just feel as though I think we were doing too much. They were doing too much. I want to have a lot of flexibility. I didn't want to feel like I'm always stuck at the hospital. And that's how I feel a lot of the nurses who are working in acute care, especially the hospital setting, they hardly get probably off days. They're still working weekends. They're on call, holidays. I don't really want any of that. So I decided to do outpatient primary care. So it's all right.
Well, I guess I was trying to ask, because I know a lot of advanced practitioner who like still pick up a shift as a regular nurse in the on the floor or in the ED. You do that still or no?
At first I was doing it, but then no, I stopped doing it for a little while because at the time I was working with this company that I had a lot of patients. So it was kind of difficult to be like, driving to see these amount of patients. Sometimes they wanted to see like say 14 patients per day. I just didn't feel like I was going to be able to balance that well. Because just imagine seeing 15 patients every day for 4 or 5 days. That's a lot of patients and notes to actually, complete at the end of the week. And I wasn't into trying to have a ton of work on the weekends. My thing is when I started primary care, it's more to have that flexibility. So if I wanted to be working on weekends, I would have stayed in the hospital. But yeah, it was just too much. Seeing 14, 15 patients per day that they were requesting is too much for me. I don't feel as though I was giving enough to the patients because I feel as though you are always in a rush because you're driving in between. You still have drive time in between. So, yeah, I don't pick up.
For you though.
Huh?
I have another question. It's something we talked about earlier while we were filming. As an advanced practitioner, right? How many years experience or how many experience do you think an RN should have before they even apply to at NP school?
That one is tricky. I feel as though if you're thinking about critical thinking, building on your critical thinking skills, I feel as though if you are going to go into that advanced role, I just feel as though 5 years as a bedside nurse is enough time for you to build on certain skills and get comfortable, with managing patients later on. Because especially being at the bedside, you learn so much. Yes, you're doing your hands-on, but you can see when you have a patient that is diabetic who has, let's say, a diabetic that is hypoglycemic, you have a patient that has stroke, you have a patient that has a heart problem, you can see when they're declining. So I just feel as though, especially if you're going into that advanced role where, you'll be expecting to be assessing patients, you're going to be diagnosing, having that wealth of knowledge from the bedside is going to put in a position where when it comes down to clinical decision making, I feel as though you'll be doing excellent at that just by your years of experience. 2 years, I feel as though you're just getting, comfortable learning about different areas in nursing, because especially for me, I know 15%. Charge your glasses for full functionality. Especially for me, I know a lot of places they required the hospital I was working at, they wanted you to touch on a little bit of pediatrics, gynae, internal medicine, med surg, so at least you understand if you have a patient in your advanced role later on, you can see when a gynae patient who is having hemorrhage, like you can see how they are, doing just by your experience at the bedside. So I just feel like 5 years probably is a good amount of experience for you to develop, understand how medications are working and seeing the patients responding. So that's just my take on that.
I agree on that because, we were talking about it because some of the programs are offering an ASN bridge to an MSN for the nurse practitioners. And we were just talking about how some nurses may in their head feel like they have a timeline. By this age, I want to have this accomplished. Not taking focus in knowing that they don't have the right skill set yet. They just kind of forced on this timeline as opposed to getting the experience that you should have before you go in advanced practice. So that's what we were talking about.
No. And I think, you see, with the fact that we have all of these resources on hand, I feel as though a lot of us, because they are readily available, if somebody said that, oh, I'm having a headache, you just go ahead and order it because, yes, the patient is requesting it, but we're not critically thinking about, okay, then, does this patient really needs a CT scan, an MRI? What is it that this patient needs? We just go ahead and just throw it out there. And at the end of the day, what happens is that because we don't really understand the pathophysiology, sometimes we don't really understand what is going on with the patient, or we don't take the time to assess the patient. What is going to be happening is we throw a lot of tests out to these patients unnecessarily, because that critical thinking skill is not keen as yet. Because a good nurse will sit down and ask certain questions to get to the diagnosis without, or let me just say a provider, without even getting a test done. You already have an idea what your differentials are. You understand? And you're working your way to that one that you're thinking is the problem. So with you not having much experience, you're not critically analyzing certain things going on with your patient, I feel as though, because we know that we have CT scans, MRIs, EKGs, all of these tests readily available. And because we're now in this advanced role, we just say, okay, then this patient wants whatever, we just throw it out at them. And then rather than giving cost-effective services or care to these patients, you realize these patients end up with like tons of bills because we're not thinking about what exactly is going on with the patient.
That's true. That's true. And then they're going to lack the confidence too to be able to stand on that decision.
Exactly.
Opposed to putting the result, no acute findings.
Exactly. Because like I've worked with, and I'm not like a seasoned nurse practitioner yet. I'm not like a seasoned person in this field, but a lot of times I will see where sometimes persons will be ordering certain things And so, for example, you're wondering what is it that they're ordering this test for? But because they were taught in nursing school that, oh, if the patient have this kind of, lab finding, then you go ahead and order this test. So they just go off of one thing and not looking at, the patient, examining the patient. Then you look at the labs to say, okay, then we're going to be doing this. They just go by this because the textbook says that, when really and truly we shouldn't be just focused on what the textbook says. The overall clinical picture for the patient is what matters the most. And that's why I feel as though bedside, nursing experience is very important, because you're building on that skill when you get out there as a nurse practitioner.
I agree. If you don't mind me asking, how long you been practicing as an advanced nurse?
So just a little over 2 years.
Okay.
A little over 2 years. I did got my my NP license in I think it was 2023 or 2023. Or either 2022 or 2023. One of them. I don't remember. But I was scared. I was scared to apply for jobs because emergency nursing is what I know. And I just felt like, even though, yes, you might go through nurse practitioner school, and I don't know, I hope nobody will beat me on this one, but I just feel as though they go through a lot in nursing school or nurse practitioner school, but I never really have the confidence after I've completed my program. So I felt like I wasn't really 100% prepared to get out there. And other students will say it, like when you go through, yes, you do your didactics or your classroom portion, but in terms of the hands-on skill, especially where we realize nowadays it's all about money. If you don't have money to be paying these preceptors, you ain't getting any clinical hours. So the focus is more shifted towards money versus, rather than like ensuring that we get, the concept, we understand how to treat patient as a nurse practitioner. So I don't really feel as though when I left nurse practitioner school, I got, especially for the clinical, I was ready to take on that, big role. But with my experience in emergency room nursing, I figure more or less that kind of information would help me a lot. And as I go out there, I'm learning to become a nurse practitioner. Yeah. So
They would have to build, because it's no different from a new person just getting their nursing license.
Exactly.
There's you, but the experience is what you need.
Exactly. And it's all about repetition. So the more you do something, that's how you're gonna be building and becoming confident and competent at it.
You know how doctors do their residency and new grads have to do their what do you call it, or their residency as well. Do you think NP should do a little bit of that too, if it's even for 6 months before they be like let loose on your own? Because I feel like NP just graduate and just go straight into practice tomorrow.
Well, you know that a lot of times, depending on the state, you might have collaborative providers that you're working with. So they're there. And I feel as though the critical thinking aspect, I think a lot of nurse practitioners would have had that depending on their years at the bedside. So you can identify whenever there is any changes in the patient's condition. So you can see that part. I feel as though the part that, we are not doing so well at initially, or we're comfortable with, is when it comes down to diagnosing the patients, not gonna really say ordering the test, because the textbook is there. Doctors order the entire encyclopedia, or the medical textbook when it comes down to patients and their orders. So the orders are there. It's just finding one that is more cost effective, relevant to the patient at that time. But in terms of like, your little orientation, nothing is wrong with that, I feel. I know that in the hospital, definitely it seems as though they have, that orientation period, but I don't think it's more like where you have an internship for new graduates who have zero experience. So I don't really feel as though it is something that should be mandatory in comparison to like our new graduates who are just coming into this world and have no clue about nursing.
Yeah.
So,
Then Did you face challenges as a new grad nurse practitioner? Did you face challenges trying to get a job without the experience? Because a lot of places want you to have experience, but you just graduated.
Yes, so a lot of places I'd applied to, they would be saying that I needed like 2 years, 5 years, like for the nursing home, they would be like 5 years nursing experience. What I always try to do is bounce back on my emergency room experience. So at that time, yes, I went in, did everything, was supposed to hear from HR, didn't hear anything from HR after I did 2 days of shadowing, which was like a total waste of my time. But it was a bit of a challenge, and I feel as though the market is already saturated. It's already saturated with nurse practitioners. So yes, it was a bit of a challenge, but luckily, I got in with house call. With house calls, I did got in because a lot of the other places as well, like the providers wanted me to be doing on call. I'm not really into that. Me no want to do no on call. Them a run from it, and me a run from it. So the weekends, the holidays, I was just not into that part. So that was the other part for me that was preventing me from getting that job. Angela, welcome.
I wonder if the saturation is a state by state thing or is just nationally.
Oh,
Probably nationally.
I think probably nationally. I don't know. Because you have certain states that you don't need a collaborative physician to be working there. So you have more than likely, and those are like the rural, states. So those states don't really have that much, the population to serve. But at the end of the day, you still have nurse practitioners there doing their independent practice. And then you have other places that a lot of persons definitely want to go, which is like the bigger cities that I feel as though is a little bit oversaturated. So I think it's probably state by state.
Is Texas? Do you need a collaborative physician there?
Yes, we do. We do need a collaborative physician here. And I don't mind it, I don't mind it because, as I say, when you get out, at least you have that level of confidence when it comes down to certain things, like with your orders. Even though, like, a lot of practices, they will have the collaborative physician, but they're not, like, say, actively seeing patients there, but at least you know where to find them. You can always phone them if you have any questions or any concerns. So it's okay for me. I don't have a problem because at the end of the day, it's teamwork. I know some persons are a little bit, against, but for me, it's fine.
Do you ever think about adding another certification onto your FNP?
So I'm not FNP trained. I am adult gerontology trained. So I only see patients 13 and above. So yes, I've been thinking about psych. I've been thinking about psych just because in terms of that remote, kind of work, that is something that definitely I would be interested in. And like when I go back to Jamaica, I know definitely I could serve, the population there because I don't think we have a lot of nurse practitioners or psychiatrists down there. And I feel as though that, in addition to my adult gerontology nurse practitioner certification, would be a good combination. Because, like, you have, I'm definitely not doing, like, say, 100% peds, but I want to do the peds. And FNP, I feel as though it would kind of cancel out a little bit. If I'm supposed to go and do adult gerontology, then pick up FNP, it wouldn't really make any sense. That would seem like a total waste of time. So at the time, I know definitely those are the two that I wanted to get together. So whether or not it take 10 years, 5 years, if I'm supposed to do an additional one, it would have been the psych. Mm-hmm.
How would the licensure transfer from here to Jamaica? What would be the
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out that part. But I know you can actually set up practice in Jamaica to work. So I'm gonna have to try and figure out. I know they're working on some things in Jamaica. So once I get a chance, I'm gonna talk with a young lady and just hear more about it. But just like how you have privileges, providers come to Jamaica, they have privileges to work in Jamaica. It seems as though it's something similar, but it's not concrete as yet as to how. So once I get that information, then I will be able to share later on.
I didn't know Jamaica has nurse practitioners.
Yeah, we do. It wasn't something that was we don't really, at the time, we never really had a lot of nurse practitioners. In the comprehensive clinic, definitely you'll find 1 and 2 nurse practitioners in the comprehensive clinic with the public system. At the university, which is the University Hospital of the West Indies, it's a private public. So at the time when I was in nursing school, they had nurse practitioners there. But as I say, at the time when I was in nursing school and working as a nurse, a lot of the programs were like sponsored by the government. So they weren't really sending 100 or 50 or 10 nurse practitioners or psych nurse practitioner for school or nurses for psych. They would send like a few for midwifery. You'll have some go off for peds, emergency room. But when it comes on to those,
Or needed population then.
yes, when it comes on to those advanced role, you have to be working, I think, around 5 years, and then you have to have one of those certifications. So it was a little bit stricter in Jamaica. It's not like you can just get up and say, oh, I'm going to go to nurse practitioner school. At the time, it was more, you have to have a certain amount of experience. I think it was 5 years nursing experience at the bedside, along with one of the certifications. So if you wanted to do psych, you'd have to get that psych nurse, that certification from before, and then you can always go and do that advanced program as a nurse practitioner.
That's another avenue to go down later.
Huh?
That would be another avenue to go down later.
Yeah. So that's the route I'm thinking for later on with that.
Yeah, because there's no place like home.
Not one.
But yeah.
That's it for
That's it.
Yeah.
But
jumping on, saying hi, linking up.
Okay, not a problem. Thank you. So when you plan on going to Jamaica?
Me, I never planned. Every time I reach there, it just happened.
Oh, okay. Which side of Jamaica are you from?
Trelawney.
Which side?
Trelawney.
Trelawney. Oh, okay. I come from Manchester. There's
Which one? There's 2 Manchesters.
Where's the other one?
You come from Mandeville, Manchester. You come from. We have a little small Manchester close to where we live.
Oh no, I come from Mandeville, Manchester, but not in the Mandeville town. I come from the countryside, I would say, but everywhere I have the little country, the southern part.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for accepting us.
Not a problem. I appreciate you taking the time out to join us over here.
No problem. Again, we'll try and catch you because you're a busy woman,
Oh Lord, not 100% busy all the time, but some days it is. But I try to jump on when I can.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
All right, no problem. Thank you. Enjoy your evening now. All right. So that was Talk Your Shift. And you guys can go over and subscribe to their YouTube page. It's the same, Talk Your Shift, as well as their TikTok. You can go ahead and follow them. They talk about nursing shift. And if you have something spicy you want to get off of your chest, you just call them up. All right. And or send them a message. And they will reach out to you and tell you how to go about with doing that. All right, so Angela Blake Grove, you say, oh, you're a geriatric nurse. Okay, you have to be strong to be a nurse. Definitely, physically, emotionally, mentally, all of the alleys. You have to be. And that's why I say, like, it is one of the most, what was I going to say? One of those jobs that just wear you out, like, over time. Let's just say. I was going to say something else. Yeah, it's emotionally draining overall though. It's emotionally draining. Haywood, welcome. Remember to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube page. You can also follow me on TikTok at Think Nursing if you haven't done so as yet. Marlene Brown, welcome. You can go ahead and follow me and subscribe to my page. I do talk a lot about nursing, and I have long form contents on the other page, on my YouTube page. So definitely look on the content, watch it, share the page with your friends. All right, I give 1 and 2 little advice over there, tips, NCLEX tips, or nursing, nursing study tips that you can always watch. All right. So any more question before I go? Angela, any more question before I go? Because I think I've been on this live for a little bit. Let's see. Oh, Lord. 1 hour. I'm saying I come on the live. I know 1 hour. I'm ready for the live for 3 hours now. No, sir. Anyways, it's Nads. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right, but I'm going to go now, guys. I think I have been here for a long time, right? So enjoy your evening. Enjoy your evening, and I will see you in another live stream. I will try, well, I can't remember to post it, but I will see you in another live stream, probably like the 7 o'clock thereabouts, because that's when I normally would do my live. But sometimes I kind of jump on a little bit earlier than usual just because of how my day is. But it was nice having you guys. For the persons who stayed on, who was on the live from day one. Who was on the live from day one when I started 3 hours ago? Let me see who I'm a dedicated fan. Love 49. Oh, God. Yeah, Nurse Tidoon, how are you doing? It's nice to see you. Oh, you just come from work? Okay. So what are you going to do now, Angela? What are you going to do now? Bathe off, sleep, eat some food. Are you still in Scotland? Is Scotland any day? How are you did I eat the well, not really you did I eat the bullfrog, but how are the bullfrog them the day again in the fridge, Angela? Or let me say spring chicken. Where the spring chickens were in the fridge. Where you had the spring chicken? At Scotland? I think it was with a S. Oh, yes, Scotland. Are you still in Scotland? And you say you were going to take a picture. You're going to look for the spring chicken the next time. And do a video on it. You never find any? Oh, you're not in Scotland? Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, enjoy your evening now, guys. I am going to go and finish up my evening. And then from there, I will see you in another live. As I say, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube page, I Think Nursing, and follow me on TikTok here. Bull City, hola, how are you doing? All right, so enjoy your evening now. All right.